And I'm Sean.
And we are still self-isolating.
Yeah, we are, except from each other.
Well. Were we allowed to do this apart?
No.
You made it sound like this was a given, and now I'm starting to wonder.
Nope. Not an option.
Anyways, we've been telling you guys for a while about all the crazy stuff that's happening in the movie industry because of COVID-19, which, let's be honest, that is really the least of our problems. It's such a silly thing to think about and talk about, and yet here we are thinking and talking about it, because that's what we do.
That is what we do. And I mean, yes, there are bigger problems, but the world needs entertainment.
Yes, we do, especially when we're stuck with our spouses. So, it may not surprise you to know that we did pay the $20 rental fee.
Yes, we did.
So there are a few movies that should be out in theaters and didn't really get much for release, and so they are releasing them on video on demand on whatever streaming service you use, just at an elevated price. So it is $20 to rent a newish movie. It's kind of like a pay-per-view situation.
Yeah, and it was actually $20 Canadian.
Yes, so that was a nice surprise. I don't even like Coke. Yeah, so last night we watched Emma. So,
Period.
Emma, period. That's right. That is how you will know you're watching the right Emma, is if it's the shortest sentence you've ever seen. It's just Emma, period. I have read it is to reinforce that we are watching a period piece.
Well,
Which is the lamest excuse I've heard. Like, there's a reason behind it, and I feel like somebody doesn't want to tell us the real reason behind it. Probably just to distinguish itself from all the other Emmas. But let me tell you, as someone who writes movie reviews, it's very annoying to have a period in the middle of my sentences. And sometimes even at the beginning of my sentences. So yes, Emma, period. How did you like it, Sean?
I enjoyed it. Yes. It was a while before I realized that this was what underlies Clueless, because I was having a little bit of an issue with the names, but I thought it was very well done, and it was really entertaining for me.
Okay, it was entertaining for you.
It was entertaining for me, and I did not know how it was going to end up, except that the two of them are going to get together. Oh, spoiler.
I mean, here's the thing. It's based on a very popular Jane Austen novel. I assume that it will not be much of a spoiler for most people who are high school graduates or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I definitely didn't read this one.
No, I know you didn't. You probably just think it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so it is the story about Emma, who is young, 21.
Well, that's not young for them.
No, it's not. It's not young enough. But she's young and rich and handsome and clever. And worst of all, or best of all, she believes herself to be an excellent matchmaker.
Which she's not.
Well, I mean, I think she has that reputation because she just, like at the beginning of the movie, she has just been to the successful marriage of two of her matchmaking victims.
She got lucky once.
Again, one of us has not read the book. But anyways, let's say she got lucky once. The point is, she likes to meddle. She likes to get in there. She thinks she knows better than everyone else. And a good friend of hers arrives into the story. So Emma is played by Anya Taylor-Joy, and her friend Harriet, played by Goth, arrives. And, you know, poor Harriet has questionable parentage, and so she's, has to pose as a gentlewoman and hope people mistake her for a gentlewoman because she doesn't have the lineage to prove it. And when she arrives at Emma's house, she is kind of smitten with a farmer. But Emma looks down her nose at this match and really thinks that her friend should be able to do better. And so Emma contrives to fix her up with the creepy pastor, vicar, I think is what they call him. That's how you know you're watching a period piece. I don't know, I don't go to church. Anyways, the creepy, super creepy vicar played by Josh O'Connor.
Played well.
Yeah.
Full creep.
Full creep. Yes, absolutely. So she, tries to set him up with him, but he actually has eyes for Emma, which Emma for some reason can't see, even though everyone else can. So the whole thing gets quite badly muddled because poor Harriet rejects the farmer, tries to go after the vicar. The vicar wants Emma or nobody, and then goes to town to find a hussy, / church wife. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's the guy who's just around all the time.
The Paul Rudd, you might say.
You might call him the Paul Rudd, who openly criticizes Emma for her meddling and for her vanity. And then there's the new guy, the mystery guy, who, everyone has heard about, but he takes a long time finally appearing on scene. And then when he does, he's handsome, he can dance.
He's got a rich aunt.
Right, most importantly. But that also gets in the way of his love life a little bit because the rich aunt wants him to marry well. So, he's only got certain options. Everybody in this movie, and we'll keep calling it a movie for Sean's sake.
Thank you.
Is very restricted in who they're allowed to marry according to who they are, where their station is, exactly how much they have in an inheritance that's coming to them when only their beloved relative would die, which is probably any day because 21 is already an old maid. Yeah. So really, it's just a lot of waiting around for people to die so that you can take their place for maybe 5 years before you kick the bucket too. So really, if you do have to marry someone who's well off but not otherwise, it's not for that long. It is not a big commitment.
That's a very positive way of looking at it.
Yes. Anyway. Anyways, so that's how the movie goes. It's just a big love triangle, but it's not a love triangle because there's many more sides to it.
More parts than that, yeah.
But I can't think of many sided part shapes.
Yeah.
Say one. Octagon.
Yeah, there's a good one.
Pentagon.
Hexagon. Mm-hmm. Dodecahedron.
Oh my lord.
I don't know.
Anyways, there's a lot of sides to this love shape. So yeah, that's the gist of the movie. I quite enjoyed it. I'll tell you why. Number one, Bill Nighy. Bill Nighy plays Emma's father. The man she can't bring herself to leave. All his other stupid daughters have married off. He's just got Emma left, and so he implores her not to leave because, of course, he would just die then. If there's nobody
die. He's so cold.
Yes, it's true. He does already have the old man chills pretty severely. But anyways, Bill Nighy is such a treasure. I love him to bits and pieces. He elevates everything he's in. And even in this, is he playing a character anymore? No, he's playing Bill Nighy. He has the Bill Nighy, the little snuffle grunt he does, and you just love it every time. How does every character have the same mannerisms? I don't care, I just love it. That's why you put Bill Nighy in your movie, because he's Bill Nighy and he's so wonderful. Number two, I love the costumes. Now, are they super period authentic? Highly, highly doubt it. This more looks like if Vogue magazine was staging a period piece in their 2020 spread. It is very elevated, very couture looking, very sumptuous. I loved every piece. And I could practically feel how expensive the fabrics were. It was really fashion porn for me, I have to say. Much better than all the dreary, like, crummy, old, dirty, dingy petticoats of all the other movies. Like, I'll take it. You don't have to go totally straight up anachronistic, or, no, the opposite of anachronistic, chronistic. I like things when they're pretty. And this had a lot of prettiness to it.
It did, yeah.
Lots of big stately houses with lots of pieces of art that are bigger than me.
Yeah, and it's bright. It is really colorful.
Amazingly well lit for, imagine the problems with electricity they had back then.
Mm-hmm.
A real lack thereof, I bet.
I bet so,
yeah. I mean, that's how they got away with all their grubby dirtiness, is because nobody really got a good look at anyone.
Yeah.
But this movie is beautiful. It is flooded with light and flooded with colors, and yes, everyone is exceedingly well groomed.
Except possibly the farmer.
Well, actually, I often admired. Yeah, he never looked all that, like...
dingy.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was getting his hands dirty. When we saw him, he had some nice breeches on.
That's true.
Anyways, this cast is really good. Miranda Hart is in it, and I love her to bits and pieces too.
There's a lot of familiar faces, especially if you watch Sex Education on Netflix.
That's right. That's right, including the farmer and the vicar's wife. So, all in all, it was worth the $20.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed, hands
down. I do not feel bad about paying it for this movie. It was really sweet. It's got a female director, which is probably why it's so lovely. Every little detail was paid attention to, and I appreciate that. So yeah, it's a good way to get your female director count up, which everyone should be doing, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And this is just kind of a really nice take on Clueless, as Sean would like to tell you. It was a real fun reboot.
Yes, it's just a reboot back in time somehow. That part's still unclear, but
happens.
Maybe in the sequel they'll expand on that.
They'll make it clear, yes. That's right. Oh boy. We're going to have an awkward conversation after this, Sean. Okay, well, that's our review. Watch it. If you like period pieces, I think you're going to like this one. Even if you don't, this one, I mean, it's a Jane Austen comedy, so it's not got all the sitting about brooding that some of Jane Austen's other works do.
No, it's very light, and it keeps moving, and it is funny.
That's right. It's because of all of the corners and the shapes. You might say.
You might.
You might.
You did.
I did. Sorry. Not sorry.
No.
Sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry.
Anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. Hello. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you've been watching, whether it's Netflix or Disney Plus, or if you have paid the $20 premium, let us know in the comments. Bye, guys.
Bye.